No, it's not always the devil fighting you. Most of the time in your relationships, in your marriage with your fiance or whoever it is, your husband, God will do uncomfortable things just to try to show you what's going on behind the background. These things you may not be comfortable with, but he got to do it just so you can understand, because sometimes he may be speaking and you're not really listening. Stop giving the devil credit. In the Bible, it states that there's nothing that happens under the sun that God doesn't know about. And maybe he's approving these things just so you can see what's happening in the background. So if you see these 5 things happening to you, this may mean that God is trying to get your attention to show you that something bigger or greater is coming, or something else that is way deeper that is happening in your relationship. There may be more, but these are my 5 ways in which God is trying to get your attention by revealing these things to you, or these things happening to you about your relationship. And this is not for you to be scared. This is not for you to worry. It's just for you to pray to him for clarification, to pray for him for instructions or what you should do, and to seek him so he can give you the instructions. Nobody else can. Number 1. Through dreams. And this is the major one. This is the one that helped me a lot. So I'm pretty sure that it might help you too. If you're a person that dream, this is a bonus. If you're a person that does not dream, I don't know how to tell you. Maybe he'll reveal it to somebody to tell you, but this is the big one out of the rest. And when he reveals to you through dreams, it might be a situation where you are the main character. You are the one that's doing the wrongdoing. You're the one that's doing something wrong, even though you know that you're not the one that's doing it. But whenever you see yourself being represented in a dream, especially like that type of dream, it may be that it's your partner. He's trying to reveal to you that that's what's happening, that's what's going on. And he used you because you guys are one. So whatever you do is basically showing you like, hey, that's what's going on in the background. Another sign to look for is maybe the ocean, water, that equates to emotions and stuff like that. So you'll experience that in a dream also, and it will signify that it's something that has to do with your marriage or your relationship. The other thing that you need to pay attention to is how you feel during the dream. Because sometimes it may be spiritual warfare that is going on, and it'll put you into a state of fear, but it's not for you to be It's not for you to be fearful, but it's just for you to be mindful and to take it to God. Sometimes he may use, you may be the third person. You're watching a couple go through stuff during your dream, and you're like front center. You're like the one that's really watching it all play out. That can be a representation of you, because God would always start with your household. It's not necessarily the other person, but it's always when God reveals something to you, either you are part of the problem or you are part of the solution. But in that case, he's just showing you a picture of what's going on inside your marriage. So there's many other things, like the dreams can be based on how it is to you. What does certain things mean to you? So really pay attention to your dreams and pay attention to your emotions in the dream and the people that are in the dream. Maybe it's a couple that you look up to that you see in your dream, and you see them going through a breakup or what, that can signify that something is wrong in your relationship. The other thing that can go completely wrong, where God is trying to get your attention that something is going on, is a lot of arguments. I had to write this down. There would be a lot of arguments. You have like week on and week off, where like this minute you guys are good, the next minute you guys are good. Sometimes you guys will argue about the stupidest things. You don't know, you're like confused, like what's really going on. And this just reminds me of a Pharaoh moment where God hardened Pharaoh's heart just so he can prove to the children of Israel that, hey, I am almighty. So in this case, God might harden your partner's heart towards you so you can really seek him. And this is all it's about in the, after it's all said and done, for you to seek him so he can give you instructions. So you guys may have a lot of arguments unnecessarily, the pettiest thing you guys might start be arguing about and then wondering like, what, that doesn't even make sense. That could be a sign that God is trying to show you that, hey, something is happening in the background. You need to pray about it. Then the other thing is through maybe a coworker, through a friend, through close families. Now, sometimes if you're in a business and you deal with a lot of people, maybe a customer will come up to you and express what she's going through or tell you a story that she's going through, something that really resonates with you. You can know what something is meant for you is how you feel when you're receiving that message. Like, for instance, I had a similar situation where I work in the healthcare. So I met somebody and this woman was describing to me and telling me how much her husband was doing her wrong and all that stuff. And it really stayed with me to this day. And it's like I could feel it in my guts. Like, yeah, if I don't get out of this situation, this is how I'm going to end up like this person. So God might use somebody, but it could even be your mom or your dad, a situation that's going on with them to reveal to you that, hey, this is the same thing that's going on to you. So be mindful of who you meet and what they say. You will never meet anybody unpurposely. Everybody that you meet is for a purpose. So be mindful of that and pay attention. That's the main important thing, is to pay attention to these things. Number 4. Problems may start to arouse. And when I say problems, I mean like sicknesses, financial issues, family issues, family drama. Something may start to arouse, and this may signify that something else is going on in the background. And this is really, really not to scare you, but for you to sit down and think, and for you to seek God and to be like, why all this is happening? Because sometimes these things happen and we brush it off, we ignore it and thinking that's, oh, it's just a rate. No, it's not. It's a sign or something that God is trying to reveal to you that, hey, something is going on. You need to pay attention. You need to try to see what I'm trying to show you, or so. So the sickness, maybe you have a miscarriage, somebody in your family, is going through a sickness, your mom, your dad, somebody close to you is going through a sickness. Then you will see that, hey, okay, your partner, how he reacts to that, how he behaves to those type of situations. So that will raise a red flag to be like, what is really going on? You were never like this, but now that this is happening and you show no remorse, you show nothing. That could be a sign of God trying to show you that, hey, pay attention. You need to really sit and think about this. And then the last one I'm going to do for right now is you start having some type of thoughts. And these thoughts may be coming from the Holy Spirit, because you'll start having thoughts about maybe a past relationship that you had, that you went through. God may put a burden on you just where it comes with depression. It comes with it. That burden may start to rest on you. We're like, nah, something is wrong. Like an instincts, basically saying a woman's instincts. Because if you're not a woman of prayer, or if you're not a woman, if you're somebody that's always yapping away, you don't have any self-control, then this might turn into a disaster. Because when God can't get through to the man, he always begin with the woman first. And if you don't get it, he's definitely not going to get it. So that is just a recipe for disaster. So you have to be a woman that is calm, that is humble, that, like to think first before you speak, and to be very wise, especially in this last one that I'm saying about the thoughts, because he'll bring it to you. Things will come to you. You have to discern those thoughts, and you have to know. And then a burden will come upon you for you to pray. And once you start praying, then he'll reveal everything to you. So these are just my 5 things. Maybe there's other things that are out there. Maybe there's other things that'll come to mind. But these are just my 5 things that I've noticed during my past experience that something was really going on. So this is the end of my video. I'll see you guys on the flip side.